What'd you think of LeBron and the Lakers last night?
Here's the one thing that I was struck by, Greeny. LeBron's past behavior, if that's an indicator of his future behavior in terms of success, I trust him to take care of his body. Right now, this Lakers squad is establishing their identity in the 2023-24 calendar year. And without LeBron, there is no identity. So that minutes restriction, that's cute and all, but you're going to have to put that on the back burner until this team at least figures out who they are. I do think that there's time to be mindful of the minutes, but the time is not right now.
Should we be worried, Alan, that he played 42 and a half minutes in a game on November 1st?
Yes and no. Well, first and foremost, let's stop comparing LeBron to everybody else when it comes to his age and how many years he's playing, because we don't compare him to everybody else. We only compare him to one guy, and that's Michael Jordan. So when you're in that category, you're going to do things that most people can't do. Even Jason Tatum went to Twitter last night and said the stuff he's doing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is, but so are the minutes. Last year through 5 games, the first 5 games of the season, he actually played more minutes. But we saw what happened at the end, and that's all that matters right now with LeBron James. Not what he's doing early on. Now, he's got to help his team get established. He's still their best player, most important player. But the minutes thing is going to be a conversation they have to have eventually, because we saw the battery drain in the Western Conference Finals just short of his goal to get to the finals. That can't happen again.
It makes me smile when you mention Michael. But by the time Michael Jordan was LeBron James' age, he had retired twice. Not just once.
Right.
He had retired twice. Monica, here we go. Here's a classic Greeny question for you. We watched the Lakers last night. They look good. We watched the Clippers. They look good, and they're adding James Harden. If I'm telling you right now one of those two teams is going to wind up in the NBA Finals this year, which one are you telling me it's going to be?
Ooh, Greeny, it's probably going to be the Lakers just because injury history in the case of the Clippers. Listen, the Clippers did look good, and they obviously just added James Harden. But to me, the Lakers have this unique engine in LeBron James, who understands that this thing is a marathon. He's won in the past. Anthony Davis obviously was a part of him winning. And if you buy that this team in that last stretch last year of March going into April after the trade deadline, if you buy that this group looks like that team, then they've got time to put it together. And that team was pretty formidable.
I have trust issues with the Clippers as well, only because of the fact that we're not going to see them playing together a lot. At least they have to. And what the Lakers do have, at least, is continuity with that group ever since the trade deadline last season.
So you're telling me right now you trust them, even if I told you that Kawhi is going to be standing and playing when the playoffs begin?
Well, that's different. I don't trust that he will. I don't trust that Paul George will. That's the problem. It's the trust issue with the Clippers. It's not a talent issue. The Lakers have that continuity, and I trust LeBron James.
Listen, you called it, Greeny. That is the quiet part. He said it out loud. I mean, Bob Myers is now our teammate, partly because of all of that. I think as I watched this team, though, at least last night, I thought this is a crafty group of veterans, and that matters in terms of the depth of the experience that they have in terms of winning together. They still are undersized for me when you look at the West overall, and obviously this budding, I know Steph didn't want to use the word rivalry the other day, but this could be a potential rivalry in the league. And so that provides some extra juice. But I'm not going to disrespect Steph because he does still have that type of gravitational pull. But this, if they pull this one off, it would be one of their most historic for sure.
Absolutely. I love I don't care if they want to call it a rivalry or not. I thought their 7-game series last year was the best we had in the entire postseason, and I think both teams look better. Again, to be clear, when Draymond, the quiet part out loud, he's obviously talking about Jordan Poole, right?
Yeah, Jordan Poole's catching shrapnel right now in Washington. They're an awful team, too. So he was in a bad situation as he is right now, but he was pretty much exiled from that team, and they removed whatever they thought might have been the problem in that locker room, and what they did was they added a guy they thought they hated in Chris Paul. Think about it. You didn't like Jordan Poole so much, you replaced him with a guy you thought you hated in Chris Paul, and they put him in this uniform, and he actually has been a nice piece now coming off the bench for the first time in his career. But this is a team. The rivalry thing is real. And here's how the schedule thing is so weird. This is the 11th time they've faced each other in the last 17 games that they've played. Yeah. Because they played in the preseason, they've played 2 games already in the regular season, and obviously that 7-game epic first-round series that they had. So they've seen a lot of each other, so you know you're going to have that animosity. But it is a real thing because what the Kings want to be is what the Warriors became. They are also built through the draft. They've got a great point guard who didn't play last night, De'Aaron Fox. And oh, by the way, he wears Steph Curry's sneakers. Is there any more relation we can have here?
No, these are two teams that are going to be there all the way through. So let's run the floor here through some of the other NBA action last night. Monica, the Celtics scored 155 points in a 51-point win over the Pacers. Are they clearly the best team in the East?
I just got to say, defense optional for the Pacers, first of all. But I also will add that I have been impressed with the way that the Celtics have started. Similar to the questions that we have about the East or Western Conference teams that have come together, Porzingis was a big question mark. But I think that he's done a great job and could be the X factor for what the Celtics hope to do this season.
Allen, Milwaukee, Giannis had 16, Lillard 15. Bucks lose to Toronto. What are the early impressions?
Not good. I mean, it's an awkward fit right now, but as we know, these things do take time, and that's why we talk about continuity in the NBA. You got to play a lot together to get it right. But forget about the offense with these two players, and Lillard had another poor shooting night. They got blown out twice. They got blown out twice because their defense stinks right now. They're giving up 122 points a game, giving up three-pointers at 40% clip. The defense has got to get right, but this is an old roster. Can they do it?
Monica, you had Pelicans Thunder for us on ESPN last night. What was the number one takeaway?
Zion Williamson is looking pretty good. He's still just someone you have to see in the league. CJ McCollum was the reason that they came back from a 22-point deficit, the biggest deficit and comeback we've had so far in this season. But boy, did Zion look impressive. He's so explosive. And then on the other side, I just got to give a little shout out to Jalen Williams and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That Thunder squad, very young, but they could be doing special things this year.
Absolutely. They're a team that no one knows anything about, but they're very good. Meanwhile, everybody knows Zion. Monica, if I told you right now he's going to play 70 games this year, is he a legit candidate for MVP?
If he plays 70 games, yes, I think he will be, because you're going to be talking about this Pelican squad. Last night, mind you, they're down two of their key guys in terms of Trey Murphy, who's 6'9", can shoot the basketball, can defend, and Jose Alvarado, who plays with so much heart and toughness and leads their defense. They managed the comeback that I mentioned, and Zion in particular is still incredibly dominant in the paint. His quick twitch, his ability to bounce off of the ground for offensive rebounds, and his explosiveness is so impressive. Now, I will say, there's a few times that he was busy, upset about the officials, and he was behind the play that I think could be costly if he doesn't break that bad habit. But this young man is going to be a force to be reckoned with as long as he is healthy.